Mom, is it true you had an affair?
Oh, I see word gets around fast. I take it you found out then?
Of course this affects our family. If anything, I found out too late. Sure, I get that I'm living out of state due to being on a prolonged work transfer, but why am I the only one who got left out of the loop? I'm your son, for crying out loud. Dad said he kept it from me because he didn't want to worry me. But I'm a grown adult. I had a right to know when everyone else did. I'm 25 and I've been working for the last 4 years. Isn't it about time I got included in family discussions?
I see.
Anyway, just what the hell do you think you're playing at? You're in your 50s, Mom. The days of doing crazy stuff like this should be long behind you.
Whatever. I guess I don't mind that he told you. At least I don't have to bother doing it myself now.
Wow. What kind of attitude is that?
Anyway, I'm pleased things are finally getting settled. The sooner I wrap all this up and put it behind me, the sooner I can move on. On that note, me and your father are getting a divorce.
Is it true that you're getting custody of Louise?
Yes, it is. She's still only in her 4th year of elementary school. Being separated from her mother at that young age would do irreparable damage. Even if your dad did take custody, do you really think he'd be in any fit state to be there for her? He spends more time away on those darn business trips of his than he does with his family. Plus, you live out of state for work, so it would be physically impossible for anyone but me to take her.
Yeah. You do have a point.
I might have a full-time job, but I'll still be around to spend more time with her than your dad would. And on the plus side, it means that financially, I should just about be able to manage everything. Surely you can see how it makes more sense for me to take custody.
But still...
But this has already been decided on, Jason, so you may as well stop trying to fight it.
You're moving, aren't you? Does that mean Louise will be changing schools?
Yes, it does. The plan is to move to the next town where my workplace is to make commuting a little easier. I'll tell you my new address once I get moved in, but you should bear in mind that I'll be starting my new life soon, so don't be under the assumption we'll be seeing each other very often. Goodbye.
Mom? What the heck is going on? I just heard that you moved the guy you cheated on Dad with into your new apartment while living with Louise. Is it true?
Huh? You know about that? How? Who told you?
One of my buddies lives in the neighborhood, and he said he saw you all going in together.
Oh, I see.
Is it really the guy you cheated on Dad with?
Oh, please, don't insult me. I already broke up with that simpleton around the time of the divorce. I guess it's just like they say. When times get tough, you know who really has your back. He's ancient history now. The guy your friend saw me with is my new boyfriend, but we don't live together. He just stays the night every now and then. That's probably what your father saw, but I'm afraid he gave you the wrong idea.
You let him stay the night, but what about Louise? What do you do with her?
I leave her in the safe and trustworthy hands of a good friend who fully and non-judgmentally supports my romantic endeavors.
Oh, I see.
Listen, Jason, I think I have a good idea about what you're trying to suggest here. So how about having a little more respect for your mother? Do you seriously think I'd keep my elementary school-aged daughter around the house to bear witness to adult stuff? That said, I am single now, so who I date is none of anyone else's business. Unlike Louise, you're a fully grown adult, so I'd like to believe you at least understand that.
Yeah, I guess I do. I heard Dad screwed things up with you during the divorce, so it's not really my place to go sticking my nose into the past and making comment on what went down between you guys. Being totally honest, something about this whole situation just doesn't sit right with me.
Is this my Big Bros messaging thing? Jason, is it you?
Huh?
It's me, Louise.
Louise?
I'm messaging you from Mom's phone.
Since when did you know how to use a smartphone?
My friend Kelly from my old school, before we moved away, her mom let her get a phone, and she let us all take turns playing on it sometimes. She even showed us how to do messages for when we get our own one day, so That's how I know. Anyway, writing messages is so easy, I bet a monkey could do it. I hope I can have my own phone soon. This is cool.
Wow, I see. I had no idea you knew how to use one. Louise, you wouldn't happen to be using Mom's phone without her knowing right now, would you?
Yep. She came home drunk again, but this time she kept drinking even after she got back. I found her phone next to a whiskey bottle where she passed out. She's still asleep now. She got some kind of lock on her phone. What was it again? Fingerprint verification. I don't know what a verification is, but I know fingerprints. I figured if I could press Mom's finger on the screen while she slept, I could get inside, and guess what? It worked! I have her phone with me in my bedroom now. Anyway, Jason, there's something I want to ask you. I want to live at your house starting today, big bro.
Huh? From today, but don't you have school? You're not on vacation at the minute, right? It takes over an hour to get to your school from my house.
I haven't been going to school.
What? Why not?
I can't go to school because my rucksack got tossed in the garbage.
Your rucksack got tossed in the garbage? What the hell?
I can't go to school without a rucksack, right? The teacher would get mad at me. Plus, it's a new school, and I don't even know anyone yet. I'm scared enough to go as it is, but without my rucksack, I'm terrified.
Who tossed your rucksack in the garbage, Louise?
Mom's new guy friend.
You mean the guy who stays over at the house sometimes?
Yep, him. His name is Chad, and he's a total jerk.
Wow. Hey, Louise, don't swear like that. God damn it, I can't believe this is happening.
Jason, will you help me? I need you, please.
Alright, it's settled then. Starting from today, you'll be sleeping over at your big bro's house for a little while.
Woohoo!
Is Mom still asleep?
She's fast asleep.
Right. I guess her lights are bound to be out for a good while if she's wasted. Louise, I need you to do something for me. Do you know how to delete message history?
I don't know.
Do you know how to turn off the phone?
Yeah, I remember from when I saw Mom doing it once. Wait, is Mom gonna know I used her phone? Will she be mad with me?
Don't worry about it. You're gonna be totally fine. I need you to turn off the phone and hide it under the plant pot in the corner of the veranda. Can you do that for me?
The veranda?
It's to save time. Look, we're in the middle of summer right now. Mom hates the heat, so she never goes out on the veranda unless she has good reason to. Once you've hidden the phone, it'll take me exactly 1 hour to get there. Start getting your things ready to come to my place, and do not under any circumstances leave your bedroom, okay? When I get there, I'm going to ring the doorbell exactly 3 times. When I do, I want you to come downstairs to the front door as fast as you can, and we're going to blow this joint.
Okay, got it.
Jason, give Louise back to me this instant.
I see you finally managed to find your phone.
I knew telling you my new address was a mistake. This is abduction, plain and simple. I'll have you arrested for this, boy. You mark my words.
Geez, Mom, can you even hear yourself? Get real. All I'm doing is protecting my little sister, you maniac. I'm keeping her safe from you and your boyfriend. There's no way I could sleep at night with her in that house, knowing how crazy and out of control you're behaving.
Quit blowing things out of proportion, you overdramatic little weasel.
How am I being overdramatic? I thought cheating on Dad and destroying our family was the lowest you'd ever sink to. Boy, was I wrong. I feel nothing but shame and embarrassment having a mother like you. You're so pathetic it hurts.
I said quit being overdramatic, you little pansy. I never raised you to be this sensitive. Anyway, quit trying to change the subject and give me back Louise.
There's no way you're having her back.
This is kidnapping. Are you insane? I'll call the cops if you don't give her back. I swear I will.
You still don't get it, do you? You have no idea that calling the cops on me would lead to nothing but the absolute ruin of you and your boyfriend, huh?
Huh? Why?
Louise told me a thing or two about what you guys have been up to, Mom. You told me you were leaving Louise with your friend when your boyfriend stayed the night at your place, back when I asked you about it. But that's not true, is it? You're forcing her on the college student who lives on her own 2 floors down in your apartment block the whole time.
I was just letting her practice babysitting for when she has kids of her own one day. Is that so wrong?
Do you think I'm naive enough to believe a bullshit excuse like that? I took Louise to the hospital and got the doctors to give me a medical certificate to document her condition.
A medical certificate? Her condition?
She's so skinny and emaciated, my jaw almost hit the floor when I saw her. I took her for a meal at a fast food joint so she'd have some calories inside her and rushed her to the hospital for a checkup as quickly as I could. Thankfully, she wasn't in any immediate danger, but the doctors were still concerned. They said she was severely malnourished and suffering from several vitamin and mineral deficiencies. They decided to keep her in for a few days just to make sure she's okay.
Louise is staying in the hospital?
I don't think I need to spell out what this means for you.
Go on. What does it mean?
It means this is a case for Child Protective Services.
CPS? You'd report your own mother to CPS? No, don't do it.
If you call the cops, I'll call CPS. Does that sound fair? It's pretty obvious how you and your boyfriend have been treating my little sister all this time. I can't believe I fell for your responsible mother act when you told me you'd been leaving her with a friend when he stayed the night.
Jason, please don't do this. Isn't there any way we can make all of this go away? It's not fair for you to act like this, and you need to stop.
You, of all people, talking about fairness. Now I really have heard it all. I'm telling Dad what you did, and there is nothing you can do to stop me.
What? No, don't do it. Don't tell your dad. Please, I'm begging you. I'll do anything.
Oops, too late. I just sent the message. Realistically, given the situation, Dad's the only one in any position to take Louise in right now.
Take her in? What's that supposed to mean? What do you plan on doing?
Dad will be taking custody of my sister.
What? You cannot be serious. You're delusional. You had me curious for a sec there, but that's actually the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Have you forgotten the reason I took custody of Louise in the first place, you little simpleton? Your father's a chronic workaholic and spends more time away on those damn business trips of his than he does at home. On what planet do you expect him to be able to look after a 6-year-old? I think you're being a little too ambitious with this one.
Actually, that's where you're wrong. This is doable, and we are going to make it happen.
Huh? Why do you seem so confident?
I'm guessing you didn't know this, but Dad switched apartments at his company just before the divorce went through. He mainly works from home. Goes into the office once or twice a week at most these days. If it suits him, I'm happy to move in with the two of them. I think it would be nice for us all to be reunited again, actually. Oh, and don't worry about Louise's environment being too male. My fiancée says she's happy to help out with anything that requires a feminine touch.
Huh? Hang on, what did you just say? Your fiancé? Since when were you engaged?
We've known each other since high school, but we met again as adults at my workplace when she started out as an intern. I was just about to introduce her to you and Dad after she accepted my proposal, but that's when your affair got out and the marriage fell apart. The timing didn't seem right anymore, all things considered. But actually, Louise found out about her a year ago when she saw us out on a date while she was out on a school field trip. Can you believe what a coincidence that is? As for Dad, I introduced her to him 3 months back.
Wow, what the hell is this? So I was the only one who didn't know?
Yep. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about right now is the fact that Dad's finally in a position to take custody of Louise and provide her with the love, care, and attention that she needs. I don't know whether you did what you did to Louise on purpose, but the fact that it was reprehensible and unforgivable remains the same. Neglect of that order is more than enough reason to have custody handed over to Dad.
But Jason, Oh, do you have any idea what the consequences of doing that would be? If your dad gets custody, I won't be able to get by anymore.
You won't be able to get by. I thought you'd been working a full-time job this whole time.
Well, about that. You see, some things happened, and, I quit my job.
Hang on a sec. No way. Did you quit your job to live off Dad's child support payments?
No, it wasn't like that at all.
I see. Oh, just when I thought you couldn't sink any lower. I'll be telling Dad about this, mark my words.
No, wait, you can't.
Anyway, the bottom line here is you're not getting Louise back, no matter what. Me and Dad will keep her safe from you if it's the last thing we do.
Jason, stop this. You wouldn't seriously betray your own mother, would you? I birthed you into this world and raised you, you wretched little ingrate.
That's rich. You got some nerve to accuse anyone of betrayal after what you did. The only traitor here is you.
How can you treat me like this? I am your mother. You should have my back. Sure, I might have made a mistake or two, but you're still my son. Don't abandon me, please. I'm begging you, Jason.
Have you literally no self-awareness? The only one who betrayed anyone is you. The only one who abandoned their family here is you. How can you destroy our lives by cheating on Dad and then have the gall to point the finger at me?
I'll change, I swear. I'm ready to turn over a new leaf. Jason, I promise you I am.
I'm not naive enough to be fooled by your lies anymore, Mom. I'm a grown adult, and I can see through your bullshit.
Jason, stop swearing at me and stop being so cruel, you heartless monster.
All right, we're done here. Later, Mom. It was just after the time of our last message that my dad went into battle mode and resolved to win back custody of my sister. What triggered him into action, you ask? Well, simple. He paid Louise a visit in hospital. One look at her gaunt, emaciated face was all he needed to know he had no choice but to call the cops, so that's what he did. The result? Mom and her boyfriend ended up with a criminal record for child neglect. On top of that, she was ordered by a judge to pay back my dad for the last 4 months' worth of child support she'd been blowing on whiskey and fancy restaurants after quitting her job. As for custody of Louise, yep, you guessed it. My dad won the court case in a heartbeat. We decided to rent an apartment halfway between mine and Dad's workplaces so we could both still make it to work easily enough when we needed to. With that, the three of us began living together. Well, once everything calms down, the plan is for my fiancée to move in with us until me and her decide to get a place of our own. Something tells me Louise can't wait for her to move in with us. She took a liking to her as soon as they met, and they've been getting along great ever since. My little sis did have to change schools again when we moved house, but I was relieved to hear she already made a bunch of friends. Here's to hoping these days of peace, calm, and relaxation carry on forever. Well, thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing to the channel. Also, feel free to comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Carl, are you there? I was just wondering if you and I could talk for a little bit. I don't mind if we're just exchanging text messages, so is now a good time to talk?
Oh, hey Mom. Yeah, I guess that you and I can't talk right now. But I can only text at the moment. Sorry about that. But anyways, I don't have any work tomorrow, so I don't mind if we talk. What is it that you wanted to talk about?
I just wanted to double check with you that Susan wasn't going to go back to her parents' house to have her baby, right?
I don't think that she was going to do anything like that. But do you mind if I ask what makes you think she was going to?
Well, it's just I'm actually staying at a hotel kind of near where Susan's parents live. I'm here for work, but I've been staying here since yesterday. I'm basically just up the street from their house if I've got the one that I'm thinking of. You said that Susan's family owns a lot of cats, right?
Yeah, that's right. I think just about everyone in town knows their house is the one with all the cats out in front of it. And whenever I've gone to go and visit them, I'm always having to watch my step to make sure that I'm not stepping on any tails or anything at all.
I see. Well, the reason I wanted to know all of this was because I'm quite sure that I saw Susan actually stealing a bit of the cat food for herself.
Sorry, what do you mean she was stealing the cat food for herself? I'm not sure I understand.
Well, then how do you think I feel? I was so shocked that I could hardly move. I was going to call out to her, but then I thought better of it. But that was the first time that I'd ever seen a person eat cat food so casually. And anyways, that's why I wanted to know if you had any idea what she might have been doing. Did you know that this was something she does?
Mom, this is all a really wild story and all that, but I already told you that Susan hasn't even gone home. For the past 2 weeks, she's been in the hospital, actually.
Wait, you're telling me that Susan is in the hospital? And she's been there for that long? But what happened?
Well, we were gonna tell you if things got any worse or serious, but Susan's just been really nervous about any complications when it comes to the baby. And she had been feeling extra queasy and uneasy lately, so she decided to check herself into the hospital.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't think that I knew any of that.
Well, it really is okay since now she's basically feeling better. I think she is probably going to be able to leave any day now. But anyways, the hospital with the maternity ward that Susan wants to give birth at is just a 10-minute drive away from our house. So I don't really think that Susan even has a reason. Why should you go all the way to her parents to have the baby?
I see. Well, then if the person I saw eating cat food wasn't actually Susan, I suppose we can say that that is a good thing. But given what else is going on, I just hope that she feels okay and the pregnancy goes along smoothly.
I think everything should be okay. Actually, it's kind of funny considering that Susan's little sister Kathy is also pregnant.
Wait a second, did I meet Kathy at yours and Susan's wedding? You know, I thought that the two of them looked so similar, I was sure that they must have been twins.
Yeah, they do look quite similar. I imagine that you probably are thinking of the right person that you met on my wedding day.
Yeah, but what about Kathy? Are you saying she's gone back home to have her baby?
Yeah, she has gone back to her parents. Although that actually wasn't the original plan for how she wanted to do this.
Oh, really? And what do you mean by that?
Well, Kathy was going to do what Susan is doing and give birth at a hospital. But then, not that long ago, her husband had to leave on some kind of last-minute business trip or something like that. I guess he was going to go abroad for a long time and they didn't know when he was going to be able to come back. So that's when Kathy asked her parents if she could move back in with them. Kathy and her husband even canceled the lease on their apartment. The thing is, though, that Kathy didn't even realize she was pregnant. She had no idea about that until her husband only had about a week up until he had to leave for his assignment.
Oh, wow, that's so much. The poor thing. And finding out that his wife was pregnant so close to his trip still wasn't enough to get her husband out of having to do it? But to go and do something like cancel your own lease, that basically leaves you with no other place to live at all.
I know. But apparently both of her husband's parents have passed away. So really, she only had one place that she could go to live. Of course, Susan did think about reaching out to Kathy and asking if she wanted to come and stay with us for a while. But then all the things with Susan's pregnancy started acting up, and so we agreed to scrap that plan.
And so that's why Kathy ended up having to go all the way back to her parents to have her baby then?
Yeah, pretty much. I know it's a long story, but that's basically what happened. Yeah.
But then, I still feel like I'm not getting the whole picture. Is there something wrong with having to go back to your parents' place to give birth?
Well, the thing is that Susan and Kathy's dad is still around, but their mom isn't. Not only that, but their dad actually ended up marrying a woman in her mid-30s.
Oh, yeah. I think I've heard of something like that when it came to their family. I must have completely forgotten about it until now, though.
Right, well, as I'm sure you might be able to imagine, Kathy and Susan do not get along great with their stepmother. Apparently they tried to meet her a couple of times, and even all lived together before we were married, but it just wasn't working out. Anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if what you say with the cat food might have had something to do with that.
You really think so? Wow, I had no idea that all of this was going on.
Well, if you want, I I guess I can try talking to Susan and see if she can't get a hold of Kathy to make sure that everything's okay.
Oh no, you don't have to go and do something like that for me.
Are you sure? Because it really wouldn't be a big deal at all.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's not what I meant. I just meant that I actually have Kathy's number is all.
Oh, really? You do? I didn't know that you and Kathy had exchanged phone numbers.
I think we must have exchanged our numbers at your wedding, but I don't think we've sent a single message to each other or anything like that.
Great, well, yeah, then I guess if you're worried about Kathy, it might be better for you to reach out to her given that you're both so physically close. But please, let me know if you find anything out. I want to make sure that everything is going okay over there.
Yes, of course. That won't be a problem.
Actually, maybe I'll distract Hillary, their stepmom, so that Kathy doesn't get into any more trouble if something else is going on. Hey there, Hillary. Are you there? This is Susan's husband, Carl. How have you been?
Oh, Carl! It's been ages since I last talked to you. How are you? I have to say, it's quite odd getting a message from you like this.
I know, I'm sorry to be messaging you out of the blue like this, but I just wanted to ask you something. I heard that Susan's sister Kathy ended up going back to your house to give birth. Is that true? The only reason I'm asking is that, well, as Susan's husband, I just think I should be checking on people more from time to time, you know?
Oh, well, aren't you just such a sweet man? I guess that you must be the person who Kathy's texting right now, too, then.
Well, it's just that Susan really isn't feeling well at all, and she asked me to check on you both.
Oh, did she know? Well, isn't that just so thoughtful of her?
Yeah, I thought so. Anyways, how's Kathy doing? Of course, I'm also texting her right now anyways, but I just wanted to know how you think she's doing.
Well, she seems to be always complaining about feeling queasy and stuff like that. I tell her that she needs to be trying to move her body more. I'll give her little errands to do so that she is getting up and moving a bit more throughout the day, but I really don't think that she's doing all that bad.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad that you think Kathy is basically doing fine then.
Carl, are you there? It was much worse than I thought. Kathy is in some serious trouble. We have to get her out of that house and into a hospital right away. Apparently Hillary is still in her room right now, so I need you to help stall just a little longer.
Got it. Hey Hillary, I actually kind of wanted to ask you about something else, if that's okay.
Oh, did you know? Well, what's on your mind? You can ask me whatever you want, you know.
I actually just wanted to let you know that Susan wasn't feeling great with a bunch of pregnancy stuff going on either. She ended up checking herself into a hospital.
Oh, really? Things were that bad? Just what was it that made her want to go and do something like that?
I guess that the pregnancy symptoms were getting to be a bit much for her. She was dizzy and queasy and could barely function. I was actually surprised that things had gotten as bad as they did for her.
I see. And just what did you do to manage that, huh?
Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. I didn't do anything but take her to the hospital, you know?
That isn't what I'm talking about. Right now, you were trying to tell me that you made your wife's symptoms so bad that she had to go into the hospital, right?
What? No! Of course not. I would never try and do something like that on purpose. She just started feeling ill and it got worse, and so she went to the hospital.
Oh, is that it? Are you sure? Well, okay then.
Yeah, although I'm wondering in light of all that if this makes you change your mind on Kathy at all.
Change my mind about what? What could you possibly be referring to?
Well, okay. The truth is that I've heard from a good source that Kathy might not actually be really happy having to be there at home with you.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh? What are you getting at, Carl?
I just mean that if Kathy is complaining a lot about what she is feeling right now, then maybe you should try listening to her, right? Don't you think it might be good for you to take her to a hospital too?
Oh, please, don't be so overdramatic. I know that Kathy doesn't want or need that, but you can just reach out and ask her yourself if you don't believe me.
I see. Well, if that's the way that you're going to be about this, then I guess you leave us with no choice. We're going to be taking care of Kathy from now on.
What is that supposed to mean? Carl, what is going on here, huh? Where is Kathy? Why isn't she at home? I know that she can't have gotten very far by herself in her state, so I want to know what kind of trick you're trying to pull.
I'm afraid that's a secret. I can't tell you anything.
Excuse me? Do you think this is some kind of game or something like that?
Actually, let me ask you something. Your husband left for a business trip himself about 2 months ago, isn't that right? And while he was gone, that's when you turned against Kathy. You withheld food from her, verbally abused her, and made her do all kinds of chores for you. You were basically making her your servant while she was pregnant.
Well, I really don't have any idea at all what you're talking about, and I don't think that you do either.
Oh, really? Because I have proof of everything that I'm saying.
Hold on a second, you have proof? Just what do you mean by that?
I take it that you didn't know this since they were installed before you married Susan's father. But he had cameras installed to keep an eye on his cats, and we can see exactly the kind of things you were forcing Kathy to do on them.
What do you mean by that? This has got to be some kind of mistake.
It's not a mistake at all. And since we have this proof, you can bet that we're going to be sending it to your husband as well.
Wait, no, hold on. You can't do that. I mean, don't you know what's going to happen to me if you do?
That is entirely up to your husband. But I'm sure he'll think of something good for you.
Carl, are you there? You better pick up the phone right now. Did you really go and tell my husband about what you told me about? Because he told me he's already calling a lawyer to divorce me right now.
Oh, so I take it by that he's already back home then?
What do you mean about that, huh?
You mean you didn't hear? He ended his business trip early just to come and deal with all that has been going on in his absence. He even stopped by the hospital to see Kathy and make sure that she was doing okay. Last thing he said before leaving that he was going back home, though.
But then, that means he'd be coming home to divorce me, but I don't even have a job. He can't do this to me.
Actually, that reminds me. There is one more thing I want to ask you about.
What is it this time?
Well, it's just about Kathy. You see, she tells us that her husband left you a substantial amount of money that was meant to be spent on Kathy while she was there. It was to pay for things like food, utilities, even some hospital fees. But he gave that money directly to you, didn't he?
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, please. Kathy already told us about how you went on a huge shopping spree for yourself as soon as your husband was gone.
But, I mean, it was just a few things that I bought.
So then you admit that you used the money on yourself.
I mean, I don't want to answer any more of your questions.
It's fine. I'll tell your husband all about this as well, and he can deal with it.
No, please, you can't do this to me. I mean, please. Don't you think we have so much more to gain by working together rather than in opposition?
And just what do you mean by that?
I mean that if you help me out here, I can help you out in whatever way you need me to.
Yeah, that's gonna be a huge pass from me.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means I literally almost lost my lunch just reading that message. But I'll be sure to tell your husband all about what you just said to me as well. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go and throw up. You know, in all the time that Susan and I have together, I still have never ever understood what it is that her dad saw in Hillary. It isn't like he's a cruel or stupid man or anything like that. In fact, when he got back from his business trip, he came to apologize to my mom and I for all the trouble Hillary had caused us. We told her that we were just happy to be able to be there for Kathy. It did take long after that for Hillary and him to officially get divorced. Of course, things didn't end for Hillary there. She was also made to pay a huge alimony settlement. But Hillary had barely worked a day in her life, and when she was divorced, she barely had a penny to her name. In order to keep up with her expenses, she had to take out huge loans and fell into debt. Now, she lives in a tiny apartment working multiple jobs to try and fix her finances. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Good morning, Tony. Can you believe it's almost time? The rest of our life begins tomorrow.
Morning, Carly. Yup, it really is tomorrow. Ain't it crazy how quickly it came round? By the way, Carly, I'm sorry to keep asking you this, but are you sure you're really okay with our wedding being so small?
Are you really bringing this up again? I'm not in contact with any of my relatives, and I haven't been back to my hometown in over 10 years, so there aren't many people I can invite. Why do you keep raising this issue when I've already told you this? I don't see the point in having a huge, extravagant ceremony where most of the seats are empty.
I see. Yeah, you're right. Sorry for bringing it up again. I'm a one-time divorcee with a kid, but this is your first marriage. I hear all the time about how much women love having huge weddings, and I guess it just played on my mind. I don't want you to be disappointed, that's all.
It's fine, really. Sure, there are girls like that out there, but I'm not one of them. For me, a small ceremony with just me, you, and your friends and family is enough. I promise you I won't complain, Tony. I wouldn't like having lots of people fussing over me anyway. I've always been the shy type, you know?
Got it. I really am sorry I keep bringing it up. I won't mention it again.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I know you only do it because you care. That reminds me, will you be bringing Beth with you tomorrow?
No, I decided against it in the end. She'd probably be grouchy if I woke her up that early. I think aligning her with my schedule would be too stressful. I dropped her off at my folks' place in the next town last night, and they'll be bringing her with them in their car tomorrow. Besides, I wouldn't know the first thing about getting a little girl dressed up for a wedding. I feel much more at ease knowing my mom will be dealing with all that. Can you imagine me trying to do her makeup?
Now that you mention it, I think it's for the best. I guess your folks having her works out for everyone, what with me and you being so busy. All right, see you tomorrow.
Yep. Remember, we're all meeting up at 8 a.m. outside the venue.
Tony, is now a good time?
Oh, hey, Mom. Sure, I'm not too busy right now. Is Beth behaving herself?
Oh, Beth's being just delightful as always.
I guess I didn't really need to ask. I feel blessed to have such a well-behaved daughter.
Anyway, Tony, Beth just told me something a little worrying, so I decided to message you.
Worrying? What's wrong?
She's here with me now. She's going to tell me what she wants you to know, and I'm going to write it all down here word for word. Do you have time? I'll put everything she says in brackets.
Wow, is everything okay? This sounds serious. Sure, I have time. Go ahead.
Dad, you can't go outside tomorrow.
Why not, Beth? You do know your daddy's getting married tomorrow, right?
A girl was looking at your girlfriend with a sad face.
A girl was looking at my girlfriend with a sad face? What's that supposed to mean?
You can't get married tomorrow. Carly's a liar.
Beth! What are you talking about, honey?
Tony?
Mom, is that you?
Yes.
What the hell is Beth talking about? I don't understand any of this at all. I know she's never been Carly's biggest fan, but isn't this all a little nuts on the day before our wedding? What's gotten into her?
Listen to me, Tony. Did you make sure to find out about how Beth felt about you and Carly getting married?
Huh? Well, sure, of course I did. She's my daughter, and proposing to Carly wasn't a decision I made on my own. I made sure to consult with her first and make sure she was comfortable with everything before going ahead with it. When Beth gave us her blessing, I proposed and started making the preparations for the wedding. But I would never have done any of it if I wasn't sure Beth was happy. My daughter always comes first, Mom.
I see. Listen, Tony, the thing is, this is just my subjective feeling, so I wasn't even sure whether I should tell you in the first place, but to be totally honest with you, I feel compelled to.
What is it?
I know Beth can be a little sensitive at times, but I've gotten the impression she's been afraid of Carly for some time now.
What? Afraid? But why? Even though she gave us the go-ahead for the wedding?
I think there's a pretty good chance she was hiding her true feelings because she didn't want you to be upset with her. She might have been worried about how you'd react and didn't want to cause any tension or drama between the two of you.
Hiding her true feelings?
Do you think maybe she picked up on something important just before the wedding? And this is why she's saying all this now?
Like what exactly?
Well, wouldn't it have something to do with what she just said to you now? It seemed awfully like she was hinting at something.
I guess it did.
Are you free? Do you think you could come over for a little while to talk this through with her? I think there are some things that are best discussed in person, Tony. Besides, she's only 6 years old. I don't think she has the vocabulary to express what she really means over messages.
Yeah, you're right. I'll be over in a jiffy.
Tony, I was confused when you showed up at my house out of the blue, but I never expected you to call off the engagement. What the hell's gotten into you? We're supposed to be getting married tomorrow.
I'll be calling the venue first thing tomorrow morning to let them know the wedding's off.
No, wait, you can't do this to me. Why? I don't understand.
You mean you can't think of any reason whatsoever why I'd want to break things off with you?
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Did you really think I wouldn't find out?
What are you talking about? I swear I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
When I stopped by at your house earlier, did you think it was the first time I came over today?
Huh?
I needed to confirm something, so I stopped by at your folks' place this afternoon.
Wait, what? Since when do you know where my mom and dad live?
I was blessed with a miraculous opportunity to find out. I intentionally went without announcing my arrival beforehand, and when I got there, I knew I made the right decision. Because when I did, I met a woman claiming to be your mom who you told me was dead, and a little girl who referred to you as Mom. Who exactly is that little girl to you, Carly?
She's one of my relatives' daughters. You see, she has this dumb habit of calling all of the grown-up women in our family Mom. We've been trying to get her to stop, but she won't listen.
Your relatives? Your family? Hang on a second, Carly. Didn't you tell me you have no family?
Oh, that? Well, well...
So there are other members of your family who are alive and kicking?
No, she's, my friend's daughter.
Drop the act, Carly. I'm done with your crap already. I know everything, so there's no point in trying to hide it. How about you just be honest and make this a lot easier for us both?
What do you mean?
I decided to do a little digging after meeting your dead mom and the girl who called you Mommy.
Digging?
Nothing too crazy. I just went around knocking on a few of the neighbors' doors to see if they could tell me anything that might help make sense of all this. After you went back to your apartment where you live on your own, I found out that she is in fact your mother and the girl is your 4-year-old daughter.
Wait a sec. No way. Did my mom tell you that?
Your mom came clean because she felt bad for me about all the lies you'd subjected me to. Don't be mad with her. You made me believe this was your first marriage all along, didn't you? You lied about being childless, too. It turns out you were a one-time divorcee with a little girl just like me all along. Well, not exactly like me. I divorced my wife because I found out she was cheating on me. But in your case, you betrayed your husband by cheating on him with the gardener and tricked him into believing you were pregnant with his kid when it was in fact your lover's. That was the little girl I found out lives with your mom earlier today. I can't believe you'd try to hide something so important from me. We were supposed to be getting married tomorrow, Carly. I feel like you've plunged a dagger straight through my heart with your lies.
But please, Tony.
Is it true that the only reason you ever wanted to marry me was because you knew my family comes from a long line of rich banking magnates, and I'm set to inherit their massive fortune when my dad dies?
Oh my God, she told you that too?
Holy crap, can you believe I was gonna marry you tomorrow? I would have actually gone through with it if no one had told me about your suspicious behavior. Talk about dodging a bullet.
My suspicious behavior? Wait, did someone tell you about me?
You were witnessed with your daughter by a certain individual I happen to be very close to. That person saw your daughter calling out to you over and over again, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy." Then she saw you flat out ignore her while she desperately continued trying to get your attention with the most dejected, heartbroken look on her face.
What? Someone saw that?
Yes, and you should know we're not just talking about once or twice here. This is just a guess. But do you think maybe your daughter felt like you were abandoning her so you could marry me? In her eyes, I'm sure I was just some strange old man. Anyway, that was my hunch, and I trusted it. So I decided to go ahead and get the evidence I needed to prove it. After finding out about all this crap, there was no way I was ever gonna go through with the wedding, so I naturally broke off the engagement.
Who saw us? Who told you all this?
That's gonna have to be a no comment.
What? But why? Why do all my secrets have to be exposed? Why won't you tell me yours? This isn't fair.
This isn't a game, Carly. I have no obligation to tell you where I heard any of this. But you did have an obligation to tell me about your past, given the fact tomorrow was supposed to be our frickin' wedding day. Besides, I can't risk telling you who spilled the beans to me because I know you might try to get revenge. I'm keeping my mouth shut for their safety, and it's really important to me to protect them from any potential backlash. If you knew who it was, things could get messy, and I don't want to put them in a tough spot. You hid things from me that you had no right to hide. Marriage is about openness and honesty, and I can't spend the rest of my life with someone who can't even do the basic decency of telling me they have a daughter. If you're still confused, I suggest you have a long, hard think about what you've done. Who knows? Maybe you can use this as an opportunity to become a better person and avoid screwing up so badly with whoever comes next.
I can't believe this. Why are you making such a big deal out of it? Sure, maybe I wasn't totally honest about everything, but we're supposed to be getting married tomorrow. Can't we just let bygones be bygones and focus on the future, on the rest of our lives together?
What are you talking about? Are you insane? The fact that you think lying to me like this isn't a big deal is almost more worrying than the fact you did it in the first place.
But
I don't want to hear your buts. I need to deal with the more pressing matter of telling all of the guests tomorrow's wedding is off. I already told your mom about it.
no, wait, just wait.
Sure, I'll wait. Until you find a lawyer, I'm done speaking to you, so all further communications will go through the official channels.
No, please, don't do this. I'm begging you, baby. Can't we just talk this through like mature, responsible adults before making hasty decisions in the heat of the moment? Don't throw away what we have.
Goodbye.
Tony, please don't do this. I'll do anything. Just give me another chance.
Hey, Mom. Thanks for introducing me to your lawyer friend. He's really good. And I feel a whole lot more relaxed about this whole thing for having him around.
Will you be able to break off the engagement without issue then?
Yeah, it's actually way simpler than I expected it to be. I can't understate how helpful Carly's mom agreeing to cooperate with me has been. I really owe her one. If the lawyer manages to get the compensation documents sent off today, I should get all of the money I asked for within a few days in one lump sum. Oh, and I'll also be charging her for the wedding cancellation fee. It's not as much as I thought it would be, but it's still only right that she covers it.
I'm pleased to hear things are going well, son. I was worried things might get dragged out.
But still, I can't believe it. Carly's mom's been living on the same road Beth goes to school on all this time.
Right. We never really go that way unless we're taking her to school, right?
Exactly. If not for the changes they made to the school districts this year, we'd literally never go to that part of town. I feel awful about having put Beth through all this, but I'm super grateful she helped open my eyes to who the person I was about to marry actually was. I owe her a lot, and I fully intend to let her know what a special little girl she is.
Right, she's been very brave. How about you take her to Disney World as a little reward? I'm sure she'll forget the whole thing in a heartbeat as soon as her favorite theme park is mentioned. Didn't they just open a bunch of new rides based on their mascot, a Flicky Mouse? He's Beth's favorite, right? She has so many posters up in her room, I'm sure she'll jump at the opportunity for a day out there with her dad.
I like the way you think, Mom. Let's do it! You want to come with?
Are you sure you don't mind?
You're the one who told me what Beth had to say when I was in the process of plunging head first into one of the worst decisions of my life, Mom. The least I can do is treat you to a day out at the theme park. You have no idea how grateful I am. Seriously, thank you.
Oh, it's nothing, really. But still, you're right. It's time you reevaluated your choices in women, son. I don't like to get involved in these things, but I can't help but notice a pattern. This is the third woman who's turned out to be no good, isn't it?
Ah, you're right, when you put it like that.
I know you'll probably be focusing on looking after Beth for the time being, but mark my words, son, if and when you do find another girlfriend, I'll be hiring a private investigator.
I'll bear that in mind.
Tony, I have some super good news for you. It turns out we can get married now. I put my daughter up for adoption. There's nothing standing in the way of our love now, so what do you say? Let's get married. Oh, by the way, where are you living these days? I stopped by your apartment, but it was totally empty and had a for rent sign outside. I spoke to one of the neighbors and they told me you moved a little while back. Hello? Are you there? Go on, tell me your new address. Tony, hurry up and tell me your new address so we can be together, baby.
It's been a few months since the divorce now. As you saw, apparently Carly put her daughter up for adoption. My jaw almost hit the floor in stupefaction when I read the messages, so I decided to have the lawyer I used at the time of the divorce get confirmation from Carly's mom just in case. We found out that it was, in fact, Carly's estranged mom and dad who encouraged her to put her daughter up for adoption, because they knew better than anyone how unfit she was to be a mom. It seems like Carly was happy to get rid of her daughter, because she thought it'd mean me and her could get back together and we could finally get married. But by then, I'd moved back in with my mom in our hometown to focus on looking after Beth. I got a new job working from home from my laptop, and the three of us are having a great time together. Even in spite of me making it abundantly clear I never wanted to see my ex-fiancé again, she insisted on bombarding my phone number, email, and my mom's mailbox with letters begging for my forgiveness. With that, I told my lawyer to tell her in no uncertain terms that if she carried on harassing me, I'd be forced to take legal action. That same day, Carly was being broadcast on local news, smashing up my lawyer's office with a sledgehammer before being tased by police and taken away in handcuffs. Something tells me her future ain't gonna be so bright. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. Did Carly get what she deserved in the end? Let us know in the comments. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hi, Jesse. I read the text you sent this afternoon saying that your business trip might be extended. When are you going to be back then?
Oh, hi, Skylar. I was supposed to return home after 3 weeks, but the employee who was supposed to take my place after I returned got into an accident, which means that I'm going to have to stay here for a little bit longer.
My God, that's so unfortunate.
The company told me that returning home in 3 weeks was going to be difficult and that I would have to take care of things while they arranged for someone else to take my place. They didn't tell me exactly how long that would take, though.
I see. I guess the only thing you can really do is do what they say and stay there for a bit longer, huh? You can't just refuse and go home if that's the situation, right?
Yep, sorry. I don't think it's going to take that long, though. I was so looking forward to returning home and living as a family again for the first time in 2 years. I guess I'll just have to wait a little bit longer. Damon's already in his 3rd year of middle school, right? I'm sorry I couldn't be there for such an important period in his life.
Don't be. After all, there's nothing you could do about it, since it's part of your job, right? Besides, you'll return once they find someone else to take your place, right?
It's not as easy as it sounds. It'll probably take some time before they find the right person to take my place and train them.
Well, it's not like you won't be returning ever again. We'll just wait a bit longer until then, so take all the time you need.
I guess you're right. There's no use in moping around. I'll do my best until I can finally return.
That's the spirit. Oh, I almost forgot. You're going to come home temporarily, right? When is that going to be?
Oh, you're right. It's almost peak season, so I should probably visit before it starts.
Just tell me when that's going to be as soon as possible, all right?
Yep, I'll tell you as soon as it's decided. Hi, Skylar. I know it's a bit sudden, but I think I can come visit today. You see, a meeting was suddenly arranged to take place at the company headquarters. The meeting itself shouldn't take that long, so I'll probably be free by this afternoon. Damon's summer vacation starts tomorrow, so I thought that the 3 of us could go out for dinner. Are you reading these texts, Skylar? Are you busy doing household chores or something?
Hi, Dad. Can you talk right now?
Oh, hi, Damon. Today's the closing ceremony at your middle school, right? Did it already finish?
I can't get in the house.
What? Why?
I left school early.
Huh? Are you feeling sick or something?
No, I feel alright. It's just that...
What is it? Is it something you can't easily tell your father?
It is, but I'll tell you.
What's wrong? It's alright if you take your time. Just explain it to me carefully.
Well, you see, Mr. Ramirez from school is currently inside our house. He's my homeroom teacher.
What? Your homeroom teacher? Why is he in our house?
It looks like he came here earlier by car. I saw his car in the parking lot near our house.
Sorry, Damon. I don't quite understand what you're trying to tell me. Why is your homeroom teacher at our house in the first place? That reminds me, I haven't been able to get in contact with your mom, which is strange since she should be home at this time. Did something happen?
Dad, Mom is also inside the house.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I think Mom is cheating on you with Mr. Ramirez.
What?
Sorry for being so sudden. I don't have any pictures or any sort of concrete evidence, so I don't know if you'll believe me or not. But one time Mr. Ramirez noticed that I had seen him and Mom together, and ever since then he's been picking on me.
What? Are you sure you saw the two of them together?
Just like you said today, it was the closing ceremony at school, but when I passed Mr. Ramirez in the hallway, he gave me this nasty smile. I was afraid he was going to do something to me again, and I couldn't stop myself from crying. I pretended to feel sick and went home before the ceremony started, but then I saw Mr. Ramirez enter our house on my way home.
I understand now. You don't need to tell me anything more. Damon, where are you right now?
I'm at the park near our house. You know the concrete hut that's big enough to fit one person? I'm currently hiding inside that since I thought a kid wearing a uniform at this hour would stand out.
Got it. I know where that is. I'll come and pick you up right away.
What?
You see, I was suddenly called to the company's headquarters today, so I'm pretty close to our house right now. The business at the company just finished, so I texted your mom, but she didn't reply. And it didn't seem like she was reading my text at all either. I was wondering what might have happened when you texted me.
Dad, come and pick me up quick.
I'll be there in about 20 minutes, so just wait for me until then, okay?
Yup, I'll wait for you here.
It's break time for you, right, Jesse? Sorry I couldn't reply to your text yesterday. My phone was acting a bit strange, so I decided to turn it off and not touch it for a while. I completely forgot about it and only saw your text late at night.
Oh, hi, Skylar.
Oh, that's right. I noticed at the same time I got news from Damon. You met with him yesterday and went out for dinner, right? And then he went with you on your business trip? I was so worried when he didn't come home.
Yep, I told him how my trip was going to be extended for a bit, which is when he said he wanted to spend his summer vacation with me. He said he went home after school but couldn't get in since the door was locked. Apparently he forgot the key at home.
Oh, right. I didn't notice at the time. I was suddenly called to work at my part-time job. He must have came while I was at home. They didn't have enough people at the store, so I was forced to work until late in the night, you see.
Oh, a part-time job. I see.
Yep, for some reason, all the people who regular came in at that time took leave. Still, it's my fault for not replying to your text sooner. I know I couldn't have done anything about it, but still, I'm sorry.
Yep. Well, that's the situation, I guess. I know you're probably surprised at the sudden change in plans, but Damon already received his summer homework at yesterday's ceremony. I'm going to buy anything he needs here. I'll return him sometime during his summer vacation, so I'll leave it to me.
Got it. Take care of Damon, all right?
Did you finish shopping, Damon?
Yep, I bought everything we need. I'll come home after I rest for a bit.
Yep, take care. By the way, I got a reply from your mother.
Oh, what did she say?
She gave an excuse for not being able to reply last night. It was actually pretty believable. I probably would have fallen for it if you hadn't told me the truth. She didn't seem opposed to you spending your summer vacation with me.
I mean, she was probably delighted when she heard the news. Now that I'm gone, she can bring Mr. Ramirez into the house whenever she wants.
Damon.
It's alright, Dad. Now that you know about it, I actually feel a lot better now. Just do what you have to do from here, okay?
Damon, I understand. I'll take care of everything before your summer vacation ends. Skylar, is now a good time?
Oh, hi, Jesse. What's the matter?
There's something I want to ask you. Can I have some of your time?
Oh, sorry, but I'm actually pretty busy right now.
Well, this is an urgent question. I got a text from our neighbor saying he saw Damon's teacher, Mr. Ramirez, enter our house.
Huh?
He's with you right now, isn't he?
Oh, well, yes, he is. A visit was suddenly arranged at his school, you see. Damon's homeroom teacher came just right now. I'm busy having a conversation with him. So, can we talk later? I can't have him waiting on me.
Yes, but I'm not talking about just today. I received information saying that Mr. Ramirez frequently enters our house.
What?
The relationship began sometime during the middle of last year, so it's been going on for more than a year now. Ever since Damon left with me at the first day of summer vacation, he's basically been living with you. He's still there, right?
Jesse, why are you saying such things?
This is all information on the report given to me by the private detective agency.
Huh?
Sorry for bothering you. You two are probably having so much fun now that Damon's gone.
You were spying on me with a detective agency?
Yep.
Do you have no respect for my privacy? This is unbelievable.
Can you still say that after I tell you that Mr. Ramirez was bullying Damon?
What? He was bullying him?
Apparently, Damon saw you and Mr. Ramirez making out. Mr. Ramirez noticed that Damon had seen them and had been picking on Damon at school ever since.
Just what did he do?
Apparently, every time he passed Damon at school, he would whisper threats to him. He also would make it seem that Damon didn't turn in his assignments, even though he had. One time when a wallet was lost, he almost managed to make it as if Damon had stolen it. Luckily, the owner of the wallet just forgot it at home, so nothing big came of it.
What? Is what you're saying true? Mr. Ramirez was really bullying Damon?
What I can't forgive the most, though, is the fact that he told Damon you were probably the one who would take custody of him if the two of us ever got divorced.
Huh?
Even though I will be coming home soon, I'm currently on a business trip, which means that you would probably be the one to take custody of Damon if we divorced, is apparently what he told Damon.
What? Why would he do such a thing?
He knew that Damon was disgusted with you cheating on me with him, so he amused himself by seeing how Damon would react, knowing that he would have to live with his mother if we ever did divorce.
What? Did Damon himself say anything about this?
He says he wants me to divorce you.
What?
The person who's going to take my place has been decided already. I'll probably be able to return home before Damon's summer vacation is over, which is why I want to settle things before then.
What do you mean settle things?
I reported the two of you to Damon's middle school.
What?
What they're going to do with Mr. Ramirez, I don't know, but there's no way they're going to let him keep his job at that school. I told both our parents about the situation, of course.
Hold on. If you do that, we'll have no choice but to divorce.
Obviously, we're going to get divorced. Did you think otherwise?
No way. Think about this carefully, Jesse. Damon is about to take his high school entrance examinations. It would be best for him if both of his parents were there to support him.
Damon doesn't want you to be anywhere near him. I don't think he wants your support. If you really care about your son, then I think getting divorced is the best option.
Then I'm not going to let you take custody of Damon.
What makes you think you can do such a thing in this situation?
If me and Mr. Ramirez got married, then we would be able to take custody of Damon, since the court will decide that it's better for him to have two parents.
Did you just forget that this Mr. Ramirez bullied Damon in school? And you're saying that he's going to be Damon's father? Damon doesn't want to be with you anymore either. I'm pretty sure he would rather live with me than the two of you.
But it's a fact that it's easier for the mother to gain custody of the children.
Don't you know that once a child turns 15, they can choose for themselves which parent they'll go to?
Huh? Oh, Damon's birthday was...
Yep. Damon turned 15 yesterday. Thanks to that, I was able to take action easily.
Wait.
I'm going to hire a lawyer to take care of things from here.
Wait, I said.
I already talked to your parents, and they already said that they'll make sure you leave that house as soon as possible.
Hold on, please.
Just pack your things and leave. Now.
Jesse, please.
When Skylar's parents came to our house to take her away, Mr. Ramirez was still there apparently. Her father was already furious and almost succeeded in giving Mr. Ramirez a beating. Apparently, it was quite the show. Mr. Ramirez was fired from the middle school after that. He probably won't be able to get a job as a teacher ever again. Skylar, whose parents cut ties with her, was planning to marry Mr. Ramirez after our divorce. But it seems Mr. Ramirez was going out with multiple women. Skylar went mad when she found out and sent Mr. Ramirez to the hospital with heavy wounds. This was after I received an alimony and child support, so I was honestly relieved when I heard the news. After that, I sold our house and Damon and I moved to a company apartment. I'm now a single father, but with the help of our neighbors at the company apartment, Me and Damon are able to live a peaceful life, which I cherish every day of.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.